I met with one of my clients last week, and I was reminded of the importance of what we do. So I met with him last week, but about 5 years earlier, I had met with him. He was retiring. He was 62 years of age. He needed to roll over his 401k somewhere. So that's one of the things I do. I help people with Medicare, help people with their 401k, 403 rollovers. And he needed someone to roll it. And he said, hey, I don't need the money right now. I'm still going to work some. My wife's working. So we just put it in an area that was going to grow for him. Well, fast forward, last week, met with him again. He's now 67 years of age, and things had changed a little bit. Not necessarily for the bad, but basically what happened was, so he's now 67. He has retired. His wife is also retired. Now, she's a little bit younger than he is by about 4 years, but she's retired. They both are drawing Social Security, but they got kind of a major surprise in the form of a letter from Social Security. And basically, it was letting him know, he and his wife both know that they're going to be getting hit with a pretty substantial what's called an IRMAA surcharge. So let me read to you what I'm talking about. IRMAA stands for the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. And we're talking about your Medicare Part B premium. So basically what happened with him, about a year, or actually 2 years ago, he and his wife sold a piece of property. And we kind of talked about this a couple years ago. He knew what was coming, but it still kind of hit hard when he got this letter in the mail. And so let me tell you, let me click to the next screen here. Let me read this to you. It says, since 2007, a beneficiary's Part B monthly premium has been based on his or her income. These income-related monthly adjustment amounts affect roughly 8% of people with Medicare Part B. The 2025 Part B total premiums for high-income beneficiaries with full Part B coverage are shown in the following table. So if you look down here, the piece of property he and his wife sold was north of $300,000. And so if you look over here, instead of paying the typical $185 for their Part B, the letter they got in the mail, for both of them got it, they're each going to have to pay $480.90 per month is going to be deducted as a surcharge from their Social Security check. Kind of a rude awakening. And again, we had talked about it, but he was still going to sell the property. So that's going to kind of put a dent, a major dent in his Social Security income. It also affects his Medicare Part D. So, you know, a lot of you guys have your Medicare coverage with me or with another insurance agent. And most of you have prescription coverage built into your Medicare plan, either Medicare Advantage or you've got a separate Part D plan. Well, they're also going to get hit with a $57 surcharge on top of their premium. So that's another major surprise. Now, we have sent in, there is a form that you can appeal to say, hey, that was a one-time event. That's not the kind of income I typically make. You know, you can kind of state your case down below this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a form, or if you're watching this on Facebook, I'm going to put a link to this form that you can appeal the decision, and we're appealing that decision for my client. So you might, before I get into this next screen, you know, you may be thinking, well, I don't have a big piece of property. I'm not going to fall into that IRMAA surcharge. My premium, or you might say my income is below those amounts. Well, that's great. But, and again, I hope what I'm going over here is not going to just totally depress you. I'm trying to kind of make you aware of some of these things that are coming. I just, you know, I'm 57. I'm going to be there before we know it. So this is going to affect me as well. But let me read to you what I was reading here just the other day talking about the Medicare Board of Trustees regarding the Medicare Part B premium. Let me read this to you. It says, after a smaller projected increase to $186.90 in 2026, the estimated rate rises more than $100 over the next 7 years to $299.80. You might as well call that $300 by the year 2033. So this year in 2025, the standard premium for Medicare Part B went from $174.70 up to $185. They are projecting that next year it's going to be just a very slight increase, but then over the next 7 years, it's going to jump up to close to $300. So something else to consider. Not the greatest of news, right? So back to my client. Back to what I was talking about when I first started. It does make me smile to think about some of the things I can help folks with that can really help. So this particular fella, again, back about 5 years ago, was actually late 2019. He was 62 years of age. He rolled over his 401k with me. It was approximately $158,000. Again, fast forward to when I met with him last week, he's now 67, and he's like, I need more income. Yes, my wife and I are drawing Social Security, but we need more income. We're not working anymore. That IRMAA surcharge kind of set us back a little bit. So what we're doing is he's going to start drawing out his estimated yearly draw out from this IRA. This is an IRA now, is right at $17,000 per year. Okay. The distinction I want to make here, this is a guaranteed payout. So I want to slow down and, really get into this here for a second. This is a guaranteed payout. Not only is it a guaranteed payout, it's a guaranteed payout for life. When you retire, you've got choices where to roll over that money. You can roll it into the stock market. There's certainly arguments for that, positives to do that. You can also roll it to the bank. Very safe. But there are only a handful of places where you can roll your money where when you decide to start drawing money out of that IRA, there's very few places where you can have a guaranteed payout for life. And that's exactly what my client's done. I also was able to help his wife a few years ago. She's on the same path. She's not going to start drawing out of hers quite yet. But just wanted to talk about this because, we talked about a couple of the issues with Medicare, the rising cost, the projected cost. If you have higher income, or a few years back, I had a gentleman, he received a payout, kind of like a severance payout from his company. Well, it put him in another category for 2 years. So he had to pay a much higher Part B premium for 2 years. So that affects a lot of people. Also, this projected increase in the Part B premium. We're going to be needing more income than we may think. And I've noticed, I've been doing this for 33 years now. I've noticed that when people retire, when they're in their 60s, they're drawing Social Security. They're still able to do a lot. They've got possibly savings, and life is not too bad. But sometimes, in a lot of cases, in your 70s, you start noticing, wow, things are costing more. I'm going to be needing more money, whether it's from like a healthcare situation. We can talk about prescription cost. Some of my other videos, we've talked about that. There's just a lot of reasons why, if you've got money in an IRA or still sitting in a 401k, you may want to think about putting your money or rolling that money over into an area that has a guaranteed payout for life. And that's what I do. So let me get to the next screen here. If you want to get more information on this, feel free to call our office. I've written a couple good my book here, Protecting Your Retirement, I wrote a few years ago. And also I created a document called IRMAA, trying to navigate all the complexities of IRAs and the rollover process, making sure your money lasts. Call our office, shoot me an email. I did not put my email up here, but a good email for me is bradrhodes500@gmail.com. I should have put that up here. Feel free to reach out to me or call my office if you want to get additional information. Thanks for your time. Hope you have a good rest of the day.